Thursday, everybody. Okay, so regular listeners will know that I'm a massive, massive advocate for learning off people who have been there and done it. That for me, I cannot, but honestly, I question anybody who doesn't use mentors in business. I genuinely, and I'm thinking of somebody right now. I'm thinking, oh my God, yeah, he does. Well, he says he doesn't, but I honestly don't. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you learn from other people's mistakes and bridge that gap, that knowledge gap, by paying them to tell you information, but it might have taken them 10 years to learn? I I don't understand it. By the way, I'm not trying to sell you anything because, yeah, I'm not. But what I'm trying to say is that this year already, it's the 35th of February, and I have already spent 8,000, 45,000. That's 53,000 plus 40,000. Yeah, I've spent over £90,000 already this year on bettering myself. And I think it's the best investment I can make. And I would just say to my kids, and by the way, we are going to get into the contents in a minute. I would say to my kids, the easiest way to be successful is whatever industry you're in, wherever you are in, find somebody who's been there, done it, and is one step, two steps, three steps ahead of you, and pay them for the knowledge. Take the course, listen to their YouTube channel, whatever it may be. Listen, learn. There's so much content out there at the minute. It is beautiful. If you want to start a YouTube channel, there's content about YouTubes. I've just paid £8,000 someone to help me start a YouTube channel. And I can't wait to get into it. Why? Because he's been there, he's done it, he's had over 1 million views on videos and stuff. And so I thought, wait a minute, can I work with you? Yeah, because this. All right, I'll pay it. And then somebody else, I want to help me sell my course better. Because at the minute, the people who've bought my course or seen my sales funnel, it's just a link to a sales page. That is it. There's no clever sales funnel at all. Wells, one of the Wells best. And she says, well, yeah, I can do it for you, Dean, 45 grand. But you'll do everything for me for 45 grand. All right, I'll sign up. I'll pay it. And so I just feel like that is the biggest cheat code that we can have is leverage other people's lessons, learning, knowledge, and yeah, anyway, so as you all know, that I listen and learn. I probably learn about 4 hours a day to other people's content and just try to better myself all the time because I'm fascinated about business. I'm fascinated about life. I'm fascinated by happiness. I'm fascinated what motivates me, you, everybody. And with a podcast, with YouTubes, I can listen. I can go for walks. I can run. I can do all that good stuff and listen and learn and educate myself. So today I want to talk to you. Bedros Keuilian is uh, Keuilian or whatever. I call him Bedros Keuilian. Anyway, Bedros, I love him. Sometimes it makes me feel bad about myself because he's in right shape, and he said, There's a man, you've got two jobs to be stacked and earn lots of money." And I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm getting to the earning money bit, but anybody who knows me and knows the business, we've never got any money in the bank. But officially on the figures, we'll hit 7 figures this year in EBITDA, which is incredible. But it's not in the bank. It's not in the bank. It's been repayments of loan and all that lot. But eventually, I feel like we're stacking, and we're investing in storage. So I feel like eventually I have that bit covered. The progression there, it'll happen. Stacked. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm into gym. I've got a bad back, and so sometimes I don't like listening to it because it makes me feel bad about myself. But I do think that's probably a good thing because if people make you feel bad about themselves, then it shows you more about you or says more about you than it does about them. And maybe, just maybe, you should lean into it. So here's I put here, I don't agree with everything he says, but I love his passion and purpose. Nothing gets in this man's way. So yeah, he says, I want to share with you something I've learned about his podcast that I thought was great. 5 lessons that made Bedros millions. Number one, how you do anything is how you do everything. Messy room, messy relationship, etc., etc., etc. Messy business. So how you do one thing or anything is how you do everything. I love number two. Number two, circumstances don't change your responsibility. I love that. If you're late for work because of traffic and you had a blowout example, it doesn't change the responsibility you have of being there on time. That's it. You have a responsibility of being there on time. The circumstances of what happened doesn't change anything. You were supposed to be at work at that time. If there's a diversion, then guess what? It's still your responsibility. You have a responsibility set off earlier. Everything is your fault. What else have I put here? If you had a late night, so you had a late night, so you're not going to gym. Ridiculous. You're on a late night, you still got responsibility to go to gym. That's what I mean. It makes me feel bad because I use that excuse all the time. You don't feel well, so you're not going to go on a date night. So you're not going to make the effort with your partner. Ridiculous. Of course you are. You didn't sleep well, so you're not going to play with the kids. Again, you've got responsibility to play with your kids as a father or as a mother. You have responsibilities no matter how you feel. The way you feel doesn't change your responsibilities. I'm like, yeah, come on, Bedros. Yes, I love it. Nothing is fatal or final other than death. You can come back from anything other than death. You will fuck up, and that's okay. But I'm reading it. I've typed it down word for word. My notes are here is yes, you will fuck up. Look at me with Lazo. I messed up. That was my restaurant. If people don't know, I had a restaurant and it failed. It failed very publicly because it was in the middle of Beverly and everybody walked past it could see there was nobody in. Honestly, to say I was down at one point, I genuinely, I've said this loads of times on the podcast. One day I just thought, do you know what? My wife would be better off not having a loser as a husband. My kids would be better off not having a loser as a father. I know a cliff. I'm just going to drive off it. Genuinely thought that was the best option. Stupid, really, looking back on it. But I was honestly, I was so down. I was so down. I remember my accountant having a go at me and saying that because my dad invested in the business, you've lost all your dad all this money. And I'm like, yeah, I did. Yeah, shit. And but that inspired me. That motivated me. I don't think I'd be the person I am now because that made me think, okay, I want to get better. How am I going to get better? I'm going to learn from people who are better than me. And by the way, please don't think I'm saying that I am in any way, shape, or position where I want to be. I don't think I'm great, but I think I'm getting better every day. That's all I can do. I'm not. I don't think I'm great compared to X, Y, and Z, but it doesn't matter because I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm only comparing myself to who I was yesterday. And I think that is so important because there's always, if you use comparison to others, there's always going to be some people who are better, in better shape than you. There's always going to be someone in better shape than you. There's always going to be who's got a better business. There's always going to be someone richer. There's always going to be somebody who's got a better hairline. No, I'm not bothered about my. I do look on holidays now. I'm like, oh my God, look at that guy over there. Look at his hairline. Look at his jawline. I'm like, ugh. But you can't ever compare because if you compare, then you are on the road to nowhere. You're going to feel bad about yourself because there's always somebody better. So as long as you get better every single day, you're only comparing yourself against who you was yesterday. So yes, I had a massive failure in the restaurant and I would never ever have thought like 10 years later, here I would be in uh, my dream house at the time. I used to run past this house and used to go to my grandma, I'm going to live there. And she goes, no, you're not. It's not even for sale. I said, Grandma, you wait. But 10 years later, I never ever thought that, I just thought that my life was over because I was such a failure. Anyway, so that's number three. Nothing is fatal and final other than death. Number seven. Number four. Number seven. What? Number five. Success loves speed. Anyone can plan. Planning does nothing. And I know my friends, some of my friends are like this as well. They just want to plan. I'm like plowing ahead. I think, what the hell? I'll learn on the way. You must take imperfect action. Learn in, lean into, lean into imperfection, and lean into perfection as you go. Um, I put a note here. I actually think this is where I win. I do first and ask questions later. And I know that, yeah, I feel like that this is number four is something that I'm pretty good at. I just go for it. And I think, right, do you know what? I'll build the airplane on the way down or I'll figure it out. And luckily, a lot of the time it happens, it works out. And a lot of times it doesn't. But so many people that I know that I'm helping in self-storage want all the answers there and then. But the thing is, you don't know all the answers. There's birds everywhere. You don't have all the answers, and it's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay not to know if you don't get a plan. It's okay not to. I've got one friend who's got a site, and he wants to do a report on the ground conditions, but he can't do a report on the ground conditions because then he'll have to get a report of where the utilities are, where he can drill, and then he's got to get another report for that. And I'm like, mate, just do it. Yeah, but what if I sink? They'll sink. Figure it out as you go. It's going to take months of stalling. So I just think go for it. Absolutely go for it. I always ask forgiveness, not permission. I mean, that might not have worked well in Glasgow, but we yet to know yet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I always act quickly. Happiness is an inside job. I love this. Happiness doesn't come when you get that job, when you get that car, when you get the girl. Happiness comes from you, who you are. It comes from you, no one else. Never peak. The best is yet to come. I definitely haven't peaked. I think we all know that. Not because I think I'm going to be amazing, just because there's no way this can't be peaking. I hope not. I bloody love these. I put something. Something for you to sit back and think about this week. Number two, especially resonated with me. What was number two? Did it? Oh, circumstances. I think they're all good. Circumstances don't change. I'm going to run through them really, really quickly, and that's it. Five lessons. How you do anything is how you do everything. Circumstances don't change your responsibilities, full stop. Nothing is fatal other than death, number three. Success loves speed, number four. And number five, happiness is an inside job. Finally, number six, never peak. The best is yet to come. What else have I put? Especially but if I'm honest, the circumstances shouldn't change how I act, especially around fitness. I taught myself how to go to the gym. Yes, I definitely do. I said it. All right, my friends, that is all. I love Bedros, and I love you guys too. All right, loads of self-storage man love. See you soon. Bye-bye.